here and I will be discussing with you. But before I discuss, I'm very sure you are very surprised that you are listening to Professor Sri, who is very old, then you are listening to Professor Balachandra, a very young, energetic man, and this is the Kitchell fellow, he's here. So how come from old to new? There is a reason. There is a reason for that. And the reason is, when I went to school before 35 years ago, I'm 39 now. Yes? So I went to school before 35 years ago, 36. That time, I wrote, the first word which I wrote in soil. In school, in my school, that time there was no paper was given for nursery students. It was by soil we used to write some Hindi alphabets. This was before 35. When after 35 years, say 32 years, when my daughter went to school, she knows how to use iPad, she knows how to use laptop, she knows how to write ABCD in laptop and iPad. That's the difference. Between 30 years, we have seen this much of difference. Education has changed around the world. And content never changed. Geography remains geography. Economists remain economists. Or physics remain physics. Then what changed? There is something which is changed. When I was a student, there was no computer in the school. There was no computer as a subject in the school. There was no biotechnology, no biodiversity in the school. But now, biotechnology, computer, genetic science, these became prominent careers. So education has changed, and that is what I was discussing. With this change, as a teacher, as an educationist, as a learner of education, how do we deal with this? If I am going to class, how do I deal with it? If I am preparing generation for future, how do I deal about this? And that is what we are discussing today. Before starting, if you see this, famous philosopher of India, he said, somewhere in 1898, 97, 98, he said, what is education? He said, education is the manifestation of perfections already in man. Education is manifestation of perfection already in man. It's there within human being. But when he's saying manifestation, perfections, it means value, culture, morals, everything. But now, do you think there is culture, there is value in education? Education is totally commercialized in the world. And that is why what I see is they are not the students of our generations. What they are, where they sit down and listen. But I think things have changed. They want to explore, cut, copy and paste, and then become a popular student. Yes? So what has changed? There is no manifestation, there is no moral. There is something new. Now we need to build those which we lost, and we need to give them possibilities, probabilities, where they can flourish for. And this is what I am discussing today. My presentation is mostly about pedagogy of modern education. Yes, how do we deal about modern education? So what we need to do about modern education. Now, when we talk about modern education, what do we aim for? Very much agree with Professor Sri when he said we need to develop an Indo-nationalism, yes, or Indonesianism. Yeah. So we need to develop that. If we need to develop that, at the same time we need to compete with the very developed world, the so-called developed world in education. And when we are saying that, what modern education demands? Modern education demand is aimed for to rise and promote understanding of critical issues involving developing sustainable learning communities. Sustainable learning communities. Every time they need to learn something new. Learn unlearn and relearn. It's a process. We can't say I am well-known professor, I know everything about geography. No, no one knows. Because this is sustainable learning. We need to learn, unlearn and again relearn. So every time as a teacher when I go to the classroom, I'm a new person. I need to prepare my lessons to go to my class. Otherwise, there will be no outcome. Otherwise, whatever knowledge I have, I will go to the classroom, I will vomit in front of the students, they will never understand anything. So what modern education is aiming for is to develop learning networks, socializations, networking, workshops, learning from each other. Then it's about planning, initiative, development and sustainability again, promote collaborations, planning and understanding common goals of education. Common goal of education. World is different. There are various countries, more than 210 countries. Unofficially also. Yes? So, but in these all different countries, there is one common aim for education. We are building future of world. It's not that Indonesian students will be different, Indian students will be different. Students around the world will have one aim, and that is for sustainable world, that is for eco-friendly world, and that is a peaceful world. A world of coherence. Now, when we talk about modern education, in modern education, three issues are very important. Three issues. One is organizational issue. Organizational issue. Now, Professor Sri says there is no global education. Yes, there is no global education. But there are certain international schools, international universities, local universities. Organizational issues. What kind of organizations we will have? Government organization, private organization. Government organizations are competing with private organizations. Private organizations want to improve because they have to show their importance to the people, to the education, to the learner. So organizational issues are there around the world for modern education. There is underpinning technology. Technology, every day there is new technology is coming into the market. We need to learn. Now, a teacher who is like me, or who is older than me around 50 years, he is not that well versed about this technology as he should be, because now you not need to remember anything. All technology is available. We need to know how to use technology. So technological issues are there. And then we have pedagogical aspects, approaches to teaching, methodology of teaching. That is what we go for. And overall, these all become conceptual factors, and that influence educations, that influence modern educations when we think about these three issues. Now, in present world, if I ask myself and if you ask yourself, we will find out that there are certain emerging questions in the world. Emerging questions can be what should education be about? What is the aim for education? Once I wrote in my blog that why do we teach geography, history, physics, maths? Ultimately what we are aiming for a sustainable world. So just think, keep your answer with you, I will ask later on. Now, can the state meet the educational needs of population? Any state, any country, can they meet with the requirement or with the need of education today, what we have? Or what is the left behind? In education, there are many things which you used to study, now that is not there even as a career. Now new career has came in. What is left behind? Or what people taught in terms of content and cultural capability. Content. In his first lecture, Professor Sri said, we need to teach various culture of Indonesia. Various things in Indonesia. We are teaching economy of Russia or history of Russia. Why? We have our own history. Yes, but at the same time, we need to know, we need to compare. That is why there is a cultural capability we need to know in content? Or how does cross-border education affect our traditional education, national curriculum? Now, why there are many laws? Yes, Parman 31, Parman Decree 17. Why these all? There is certain reason for that. Or is the role of education in national society over? Are we only creating world citizens? The students have no role as an local, as an Indonesian, or is he became only world citizen? Or there is a complexity, over increasing complexity. So as a teacher, what we have to teach? Complexity is there, everything is becoming very complicated now. So what we have to teach? Or do we need a parallel education system? If you find some of your answer, keep it with you, later we will discuss, you can ask me. At present, world is facing various problems. And when we talk about education, education is one industry which creates futures. We don't manufacture anything. We don't manufacture laptop, we don't manufacture speaker, nothing. We create mind. So our role is very different than anyone else. And if you see present scenario in the world, scenario is this. Scenario is poverty, war and suffering. And this all, poverty, war and suffering, we can combat with these things with sustenance and human dignity. If every human is dignified, we can combat with poverty, with war or with suffering. Illiteracy and its effects, you know. Illiteracy has its own effects. How can we combat with illiteracy? By quality education. And not only quality education, providing opportunities. UST teach you very well, you become a very good student, but if you don't find any job in market, then there is no use of that education. So quality education, at the same time, the quality education needs to provide opportunities to the people. Another scenario which we have is resource and environment. Resources are decreasing, the rivers are polluting, forests are decreasing. All resources are decreasing on the earth's surface. At the same time, we are degrading environment. So how can we deal about it? By research, by innovation, and as well as sustainability. Degradation of value, terrorism and war. This is world situations at present. How can we deal about this? We can deal about this only by one thing, and that is Panchasila and morals. If we teach Panchasila and morals, we can make a better citizen. Value system is very important. Yes? So we need to teach justice, law, self-determinism and value system. Otherwise, we are creating menace to the society. Education without values is as same as creating menace to the society. So there need to be certain values. And then we need to think about globalization as well as localization. Globalization. Think about world. Let's integrate all education system, but at the same time be local. If I am in Indonesia, if I am not eating nasi padang, there is no use to come to Indonesia. Yes? So I am Indian, globalized. I am in Indonesia using Indonesian stuff, localized. So we need to think about globalization and localization, and this can happen only through international and local education. Something we learn from international education, something we need to give to the international education. And what Indonesia can give to the international education is Pancasila and morals. Somebody, one day I was listening to a lecture and he says, there is no religion in the world. There are religions in the world. Not Hindu is one religion. Hinduisms as Muslims. Many religions of Muslims. Indian Muslims is very different than Indonesian Muslims. Indian Hindu is very, very different than Hindus in Bali. Yes? And same all around the world, all religions. So actually we need to think in this way. There is one same culture have different roots, different branches now. And this we can achieve through education. The need of time is something, this need is one word, one education. Aim of education around the world should be same. You know what happened when nuclear bomb was barred in Hiroshima and Nagasaki? It was, a duty was given to the teachers of Japan not to create people who will think to take revenge with the people who bombarded them. The responsibility was given to the teacher that you need to create a person with ethics, with values. And if you go around the world, I have been in many countries, around 52 countries, and if you go around the world, you will find out most polite people in the world are from Japan. Yes, the people who have suffered a lot, they are most humble. They are not ready to take revenge. They have taken their revenge, showing their development. This is what they did. Yes? So, what is the need? Need is one education. And when we talk about one education, again comes some conflicts. In pedagogy, when we talk about approaches, methodology, again there are some conflicts. And those conflicts can be pedagogical principle or type of knowledge, what type of knowledge we should give, process of organization or stakeholders. Now when we talk about stakeholders, individual organization. As an individual I am different. As an organization, we all have one responsibility for this university. As an individual, we all are different. So there are different stakeholders for country, for this university also. Some might be only earning profit. Some might be learning values. Some might be learning for future. So on and so forth. So these conflicts, we need to think about this when we are going to teach. And these all conflicts are written there. I mean, if you say pedagogical, there is problem oriented. Now, when we talk about one education, because it needs to be one sort of education everywhere in the world. So how can we opt it? We can opt it an understanding of pressing global issues. Everyone is facing the same problem. When I was a student in 1989 in grade 10, there was a part of geography which says Southeast Asia. And I used to study Borneo is the most dense forest of the world are found in Borneo. Now you see a map. Now in 2013 and 14, 87% of Borneo is deforested. So we need to know about global issues. And the deforestation in Borneo affecting climate everywhere in the world. Deforestation in Indonesia, in Cambodia and nearby countries affecting everywhere. Climate change. So we need to think about these global issues. Or multi-language. Language. We need to know our own language. We need to have proud to our own language, mother tongue. At the same time, we need to know certain, because we need to communicate. We need to learn from others. To learn from others, you need to become habitual like others. So we need to learn some global English. And Professor of English is sitting here, so he will be very happy. Information technology, we need to learn. As a teacher, if I don't learn, I will be left behind. I never studied computer, yes. In my lifetime, I never studied computer, but now I know good about computer. Yeah? So, we need to know, as a teacher, if we want to be a successful teacher, if we want to be a successful learner or educationist or whatever, we need to learn technology. At the same time, collaboration, skills and experience, very important. Single no one can achieve. Professor Supriyoko is sitting here. He can't achieve individually. He can't take this university to the top of the university in the world or in Indonesia. Yes, it's you. It's a combined work. So we all need to have a collaboration. Then capacity of innovations and creativity, very important. Innovation is very important. Innovation hand-on practice. Do something new. Innovation is very important. And appreciation of diversity. This is very important. Yes? Earlier, when we were students, still in Indonesia, I found there are many Islamic schools, Christian schools, Chinese schools. Why so? We all need to have one. Appreciate diversity. In one class, a Chinese is sitting, a Korean is sitting, an Indian is sitting. Appreciate that diversity. Everyone is individual, but everyone is united also. So, now in modern education, we need to focus in certain areas. And certain areas, global perspectives and awareness, value, very important. Values are most important if I feel in today's world. Psychological reconstructions, holistic education, innovation in education, adopt cross-cultural changes and think beyond. How do we do all these things? I will discuss with you. We need to change. Yes, we need to ready for change. As a teacher, we need to ready for change. And that change will come in various manners. Sometimes we need to adapt with the new situations, with the new curriculum, with the new methodology of teaching, with the new methodology of assessment. We need to ready for that. The way we had given examinations, now students are not giving examination in the same manner. In many world curriculum, I'm teaching